Hello bros, I'm Confronting Ava, BroFive production, and the next part of Genderbender Jessica. So they didn't manage to use the fire hose to bring the cloud into a cloud that changes you back instead of changing you into a busty girl. Start going right here. So what are they gonna try now? Let's see that. The clouds over there look a bit denser than the others. That's interesting. I wonder where Ava is manipulating the storm from, though. It have to be somewhere that allows her to draw a lot of electrical energy, so maybe a power plant. Or maybe she's controlling it from the lighthouse. And how do you know that? Because it's super obvious. Well, I'm a weather scientist and that's not obvious to me. Looking at some clouds saying whether it be hot or not isn't exactly a science. Yes, it is. It's just as valid as genetics. Yeah, no, you're wrong. Meteorology is stupid. I could do it with my eye shut. So why the lighthouse? Ava's predictably, and she's got a flair for dramatic. She needs to be at the top of some sort of building in order to be close enough to the clouds, and the lighthouse is this massive, prominent thing you can see from pretty much anywhere in town, but nobody ever goes there. She'll be at the lighthouse, trust me. Should we go there and stop her then? Let's just leave her for to be for now. We got different animal abilities, but I'm not sure any of us is a match for Ava and her scary dragon strength. She could break us in half if she wanted to. Good point. As long as we can source enough transformation fluid to fill up the fire truck, we'll be able to stop the storm. Ava doesn't matter, so let's just ignore her. Why doesn't you just do so much as get the transform back serum, throw the Ava and kick her ass as fast as you can before she got the powers back? Sounds good to me. So do you think we got in enough time yet? Let's walk to the end of the boardwalk and back first. I got the impression that it was a personal phone call. It better not be who I think it is. Oh, come on. Of all people. Of all people. Hey Dina. Yeah, not you again. Why is Dina yelling so much? This is not how we used to date. I hate her. Hey there, cutie. She also a succubus. There's no such thing as a succubee or demon or magic or any of that stuff. She's just a con artist. How are your wings floating? Magic. Ah. Don't listen to this fraud. She's just a hussy performing cheap tricks to make herself look cool. We now stop living in denial. Never. That's Dina, alright. Do I have permission to teleport Dina to the other side of town? Go for it. Like that's ever even possible. God. Ah! This has to be a trick. She'll be fine. So where were we? Wait, so magic is real. Kinda. Just think of it as a different energy source that allows us to do a lot of things you think would be impossible. It's what's it today? It's pretty damn versatile, but we do have limitations. I've been studying magic ever since the demon girl outbreak a few months ago. Dina hasn't exactly been helpful with my research, and I've been pretty distracted with launching my new coffee franchise, but I'm getting there. So what do you need exactly, Lynn? Can you use your magic to generate enough transformation fluid to cancel out this storm? That's not transformation fluid, it's raw magic energy. I don't care what it's called, can you generate more of it? It takes a lot out of me, but it'll be damn pleased to see the end of this storm. All the men being turned into women is sexy as hell, but some of these animal forms are just plain weird. Did you see the giraffe girl? Don't remind me. At the centuries old team who's ruined all sorts of worlds, and even that gave me nightmares. Oh, her. I thought she was kind of cute, like a little layers. Your furries and your weird animal obsessions. Alright, actually, one girl commented me when I called this furries once, and even the creators call them furries now, so I was right. So what do you want me to fill up the tank of this curly painted fire truck with my magic? Can you do it? It's gonna cost me like 3 months worth of sexual energy, but I do it. I'm sick of all these animal girls wandering around like they own the place. Thanks, Nat. I owe you one. Don't thank me yet. Ava's clearly found a magic source of her own, and she's pumping it directly into the clouds until you can shut that off. I can't do anything. Dina reckons she on top of the lighthouse. That's where I do it from. Stay here and be ready to power up the fire engine. Jessica and I are heading to the lighthouse to put an end to this. Seriously, how short is this story? This seems to be very short. What? We are? There are two of us, and she's just one dragon girl. We can't handle it. I'll teleport Dina back here for you. Ah! How did I get back here? And now there's 3 of us. We'll be fine. Well, if Dina is as crazy in fighting as she is in doing pretty much everything else, I bet you're gonna be okay. Are you sure? Natalia, how did you do that? I know it wasn't magic. Dina, not important right now. Huh? We're going to the lighthouse and stopping this bloody storm right now. Are you with us? What do you want us to fight that insane dragon girl? Exactly, we're shutting down her weather manipulation device, and we use whatever means necessary. That's stupid. She tear us apart. That's what I was saying. I don't want to be fucking be a fucking bee anymore. Let's fucking go so I can get this shitty chapter of my life over with and wear normal fucking pants again. Yeah, but you're just a squirrel. You won't understand. Being a bee totally fucking sucks, and some crappy dragon girl isn't going to stop me from turning back to normal. Now turn that squirrel tail of yours around and march toward the lighthouse right now. Fine, I'm coming. You really hate being a bee, don't you? Yeah, right, I do. Well, I can only think of two positive things about that. Luckily, they followed Lynn and Dina to the lighthouse. I'm not gonna tell them because they are not child appropriate. Maybe we should just give up. Being a foxtrot isn't that bad, I guess. What are you scared? What are you scared? Of fighting a superpowered dragon girl? Absolutely. I'm not sure this is a good idea either, Lynn. Ava might be crazy, not you, but she's not going to murder us or anything. She is not a computer psychopath. Complete psychopath. All we have to do is pin her down while we destroy whatever she's using to power the storm. Then we make a quick call to Natalia and bam, I can wear pants again. It'll be easy, trust me. Oh, I wouldn't be so sure about that. Ava. Here to try to stop me, are you? Of course we are. It's time to put an end to this madness. Madness? Huh. Can you see what I'm trying to do here? This storm is our destiny. It's unlocking our potential and making us better. This is who we were truly meant to be. That's a load of shit. I hate being foxtrot. I told this sucks and I demand you stop that what you're doing right this instant. All those years of being ignored by you and that stupid weather lab having my theories dismissed as crazy ideas. I knew I was right the whole time. Yes, you only worked at the weather lab for 6 weeks and you were on holidays for 3 of those. You have to acknowledge my genius now, though. Don't you, Jessica? Look, I managed to create my own storm. I couldn't control the weather. It's only a matter of... It's only a matter of? No, it's only a matter of time until my storm grows in size and covers the entire planet. That everyone will be embraced the true forms and become an animal girl just like me. You're not an animal girl. Seriously, she's not an animal girl. She's a mythology girl. That's what she is. She doesn't realize that. Because dragons aren't technically animals. They would be that if you acknowledge all that they can, but they have other traits that make them non-animals. I will completely reshape this world into its true potential. See, this is why I was against the internship program. How on earth will you possibly stop me now, Jessica? I'm a dragon, and with the power of the storm behind me, I'm unstoppable. I'm gonna laugh every time she laughs. Like that. Suck on this. Ah! What the fuck? Ah! What the hell happened? If you turn someone into a bee, then you should be prepared to face the consequences, bitch. Ugh. What did you do? I stung Ava with my stinger, considering how bee stings hurt like crazy and just from a little tiny insect. Imagine how badly a sting from a human-sized bee must hurt. Oh. It looks like she passed out from the pain. Serves her right. Damn, that bee sting is going to be itchy for weeks. Yeah, well, that's karma. I hope she bought a lot of chamomile. So Ava is out of the picture now? Yep, I told you it would be easy. I know not to mess with you, that's for sure. Don't get on my bad side. I can't wait to see what Ava is using to manipulate the storm with. My fire truck idea was pretty genius, but she must be... I gotta be here... It's gotta be here somewhere. I think this is it. Is that a fridge attached to a garden hose? I'm gonna just check one thing quickly. That's pretty good. That's the same fridge from our old break room back at Confronting Ava, isn't it? That explains it. How does this exactly explain anything? I'll tell you about it later. Just rip off the garden hose. Done. Natalia, turn on the fire engine. Well, here goes nothing. I'd be damn pleased to see the end of those fur freaks, that's for sure, fucking sure. Ha! Hey, it's back to normal. It's working. Whoa! Way to go, Natalia. Yes, my tail's gone, and so are my stupid fox ears. To say, I'm not a freaking bee anymore. It feels good to wear pants that fit again. I'd be so glad to get back to my regular male body. Being a girl was fun and all, but I'd be glad to be back to my original self. You weren't accepting to turn back into a guy the whole time. You weren't expecting to turn into a guy this whole time, were you? Yeah, isn't that what... wasn't... Yeah, isn't that what why we have been working so hard to stop the transformation storm and return to town to normal? We're just trying to stop everyone from being turned into animal girls, Jessica. The gender transformation is permanent and irreversible. No, it isn't. You haven't find the reversal before. What? Didn't you hear what I said earlier? We can't undo gender swap effects of green transformation gas. It's why clinics use a modified form of the gas. Animal ears is one thing, but everyone in town is stuck as a woman now. Please tell me you're joking. Dina, come back me up on this. Can you back me up on this one? What's up? You cannot do the effect of Boo Apocalypse and turn everyone back to normal, right? Don't you just have to give everyone a new serum? Why, we just did that. But I'm still a chick. Oh, that's permanent. What? But the whole town was transformed. Yeah, I'm sure as hell would I want to own a men's clothing store in Science Point right about now. That can't be true. Oh, stop panicking so much. You get used to it. And so will everyone else. It's not the end of the world. Hey, Lynn, wants to throw a big party on the beach? We kind of deserve one, considering we did just save the town and everything. Alright. It seems that it is permanent and the gas not coming back, so I'm a little sad that we didn't get to see what all the other ones we have run into in the Gender series was turned into, but we have some ideas. Yeah, I have a very good idea. Sounds like fun. But you didn't save the town at all. Things are still in a state of chaos. Hey, get back here. You got to be kidding me. Everyone here is stupid and I'm going home now. Yeah, then we had a strange reaction to the storm and ended up spending the week as a pair of fluffy pigs. It's an experience that neither of them like to speak about too much, but as a result of that storm, the two of them have developed quite a fondness for cheese doodasts. On the upside, the two of them are able to communicate with each other simply by speaking, which has come in handy more often than you think. By squeaking. Yeah, I think I know what. Yeah, only has another semester left until she has finished her science degree, and she made a solemn vow that she won't use her science powers for evil the way Dina and Lynn have suffocated to say. She won't be working in the DNL Industries lab. Although after spending some time as an animal, Yale is finding the ideas of specializing in animal science more and more interesting, especially if it means she can make Dina taste a bit of her own medicine. We'd had been talking about getting a cat recently. Bree had frankly had enough of Dina silliness, and with Sophie being completely transformed into a jellyfish girl, she decided to spend weeks living in the ocean as a shark girl until the storm blew over. The two of them enjoyed the underwater scenery quite a bit, but the novelty wore off pretty quickly. After a week of eating fresh ponds and various small fish, they both decided to swear off seafood and spend all of their holidays on land nowadays. Marie still works at the lab from time to time, but with Sophie just about to graduate from her nursing degree, she thinks about moving away from Science Pond for a while. That storm was the final straw for her, and she's looking for somewhere more peaceful to live. Yeah, I can understand that. After her experience in building an underwater research facility, she probably swapped from a science career path to engineering. Someone's bound to want an underwater office somewhere. So we let her gym membership lapse. She still can't look at exercise balls that same way. I hate that the story don't actually work out with the stories I actually chosen. Because both me, Chemical Waste, and Spartaniac are a little upset that as we play them, it isn't how it turns out. Natara was out of town when the storm hit, as she was busy running her new store in the city. It's probably for the best after what happened with her little vampire incident a few years ago. That actually worked out as we were supposed to. After marrying Alana, she became a full Australian citizen, but at the moment the two of them are currently living apart while Alana finishes university. Natara got herself a new hairstyle and a brand new wardrobe, and she's currently facing perils of being a small business owner in the big city. There's been a few dozen stores owners and the crime rate is way higher, but she is enjoying herself. Unlike Natara, Lana was in town when the storm hit, and she was one of the rare few who had a really bizarre reaction to the green rain that swept through the city. Rather than being turned into an animal girl, Alana was transformed into a human plant hybrid. I get that. With her green skin and flowers for hair, she was actually quite striking to look at, and it wasn't a bad week for her. Being unable to eat food was pretty frustrating though, and she was getting pretty sick of sitting outside food restaurants all day. It was relaxing at first, but it became dead boring after hour 5. Now that she is back to normal, Alana is finishing up her university degree. She'll be finished in another year, and after graduating, she moved to the city with her partner Tara. I think actually this is one of the shortest stories I made. Seriously, it's not long, but I'm gonna finish reading what everyone turned into. You won't find Alana eating a salad nowadays though. She's on a 100% meat diet now. What with the guilt of eating her own kind and all, mostly she just eats bacon now. So she's not complaining. Everyone loves bacon. Yeah, actually everyone does. And Steph is now permanently stuck in her original female form. Her days of swapping between guy form and girl form depending on her mood are long behind her. She's not complaining, however. Peeing while standing up was fun and all, but it was cancelled out by the fact that men's public bathrooms are absolute disgusting. She might not be able to tangled shoplifters now, but she can still kick them in the nuts to get the job done. Thankfully, Steph seemed to be locked into a human form too, which is really relief because Dina became a little bit obsessed with her cowgirl form. Dina and Steph had shapeshifted each other into all sorts of things before, but Dina's reaction to her cow form was way over the top. Steph was actually pretty furious about the whole thing. Dina didn't seem to care about her feelings on the matter at all. Well, that's Dina for you. Anyway, cow-related drama aside, Steph is doing pretty well for herself. CTG is secured off in her full-time job, and she's been looking into getting a home loan to buy a place for herself. She is considering buying the house together with Dina, but that all depends on how she behaves these next few weeks. If Steph wakes up one morning with the others again, it's going to be a hell to pay. Yeah. Alison broke her leg again. This time it was due to a trampoline stunt gone horrible wrong. Trampolines and unlikes don't mix. It's a miracle she didn't die. Come on. Oh, come on, I want to see that. At first, Lily was frustrated about V3LF being turned into girls. Max Hard Studio was only meant to have one girl band, and L Middles was there first. They were just trying to leech off their popularity. There were quite a lot of arguments between the two groups at first, but after a few weeks things began to settle down. Their crossover concert went well, and Lily found herself growing closer to Vixen girls. Lily is now dating both of the twins at the same time, which is perfectly fine because the twins are actually related to each other. That was just a marketing stunt. Yang camo. They aren't related. Alright. I think that was a little bit weird. Okay. Right now they're working on a collaborative song together, but their recording session quickly developed into orgies after the first hour, so it'll probably be some time until that single is available for purchase. I don't think it's gonna be available anytime. Wait, who's this character? Yeah, no one actually cares about that character much, but it's actually Karen. I don't know who this is. Hey, I can't be anyone important. It can't be anyone important. Let's move on. Get back here. My life is just as interesting as everyone else. No, it's not. Uh-oh, I bought a hat the other day. Hey, don't leave me out. I demand to be recognized. Vixen but Wiggle Dance quickly became a viral hit, and their music video was limited by hundreds of thousands of teenage girls worldwide. It ended up racking up over 40 million views online, which was enough to finance a no-pool water slide for Max Hard Studios. They have an own water slide and pool? What the hell? Vixen but Dance Wiggle became so popular that they were able to launch an international tour, which was a first for Max Hard Studios. The tour was initially very successful, but they were publicly humiliated after coming last place in the international dance-off held off South Korea. Their reputation took a massive hit, and even though they were doing quite well for themselves now, their 15 minutes of mega fame are over. Don't feel too bad for them though. All of them are still pulling 7-figure income each year. They manage. Whoa! What a look! That actually looks damn cute. Then Fred weren't affected by the apocalypse, as Stan was on national tour with Del Mitchell, and Fred was busy providing security and beating off rabid fans with anti-swearing stick and the swarming stick. Fred loved that stick. It was probably a good thing Fred missed out of being permanently stuck as woman like the rest of the men in Silence Point, as Dan and Fred are both planning on settling down and starting a family soon. No, I won't allow that. Seriously, I found a way to jump into this story and stop it if that happens. I'm serious about that. It's still early days yet, but Dan had positive pregnancy test and things seem to be coming along just fine so far. I won't allow that. Lily and the rest of the Admitless girls are ridiculously excited about the idea of Dan becoming a mother, and they already picked out a bunch of names for the baby. Actually, don't think that would work good, because Dan is still like a 13-year-old girl. She's that small. Dan and Fred are probably going to take over the naming duties though, because some of the names the girls came up with were a little unorthodox. Seriously, who would name the kid Yes for what? I don't guess. I can't even say it. Well, it's something weird. Red 5 Eka is a much better name than probably the one they go with, or T2XB4 yay. Why? If it's a boy. I don't get it. What the hell is those things? Share it to her? At least I was transformed into a panda girl during the storm, and it ended up being surprisingly difficult to track down fresh bamboo in a coastal city like Silence Point. I'm not surprised. You'd think there'd be plenty of places such as hardware stores and like that, but it was all treated and nothing was edible. Everyone else got to try out new amazing foods on their animal forms, but Alyssa missed out. She was kind of bummed out about that. With everyone in town being transformed into an animal girl for a week, the demand for kimono cleaners dropped dramatically, and Alyssa had to give up her newest part-time job. She briefly considered moving with Sarah and working at the game store. What? But Sarah was still focused on wearing ridiculous outfits to work every day. That pink hair get-up of hers was impressive, but not the sort of thing Alyssa could bring herself to wear. At least not in public. Maybe Alyssa would go for a job at Boxers Gaming working on the virtual reality MMO. She worked with netcode before, so it couldn't be that complicated. At least she wouldn't have to wear a silly outfit. Oh, that would be fun to see, but she was probably on tour also. Yeah, or $50 on an instant lottery ticket. Last week she used the money to buy herself a new sandwich press because her old one broke. Yeah, that was the best one. That girl. Anita still hunts demons every night, and she had moderate success so far. She managed to purge a few people of their demonic essence and revert them into the human form. But sometimes it feels like she's fighting a losing battle. She is fighting a losing battle in that town. Most people seem to be enjoying their time at Demon Girls, and generally they're pretty pissed off when Anita turns them back to normal. Most of them end up turning themselves back into demons in a few days too. Anita's grandparents had been pretty adamant about how evil the demonic races were, but honestly they didn't seem to be doing that much wrong. Most of the succubi just go to parties and hook up with each other on Saturdays, and that's about it. There certainly hasn't been any murder or anything, and Anita is probably going to stop her crusade pretty soon. It's starting to feel really, really pointless. Actually, succubus don't kill people. They have sex with people and absorb power from it. Seriously, me and Chemical Waste had a debut about that not too long ago, and I ended up winning with my theories. So, yeah, pretty much about that. Hell, she might even take Natalia up on her offer and become a succubus herself. Their horns to look awesome, and being able to fly would be fun. What's the harm? It's not like the world is peril or anything. I wouldn't give up a wolf form even if it's gonna cost me my life. Francesca has made an absolute ton of money. Her boutique always did pretty well for itself, but when the town's population are all transformed into women, there is a hell of a lot of money to be made in the fashion industry. Francesca has had to hire 4 more staff members, and her cosplay costumes are selling like hotcakes, including that one cosplay outfit that was for some reason shaped like a hot cake. But the commotion were particular about the order, and Francesca wasn't going to argue with good money. She's thinking of expanding her operation, and Francesca is secretly hoping another gender swap storm happens somewhere else along the coast so that he can open a second store there. Having 2 swimming pools and a trampoline room is great and all, but she really like a moat. I don't know who that is. Gavin looked way too similar to all of the other guys, Ryan in particular. He even has the same color t-shirt as him. I kept getting them mixed up and white, so I ended up not using him in the game. It was for the best. Yeah. After being transformed into a chick, Hunter decided that he would start training for athletics again. Despite being gender switched quite a lot, his muscular mass carried across and ended up becoming a formidable women's athlete. Gender swapping hasn't phased Hunter too much, but she does miss being able to swim shirtless at the pool. Women's swimsuits are fine and all, but it's just not the same. Get your own pool. Oh. Sadly, even being permanently transformed into chick and wearing skimpy bikini to work wasn't enough to salvage Jojo's nightclub. There was talk of a foam party, but it never happened, and the nightclub closed down for good, and he got to live on the street. Due to a number of sexual harassment lawsuits, Jack wasn't able to return his old job at Animalius. He's currently in a massive amount of debt, and as of right now, he can't see a way out. Hope he wasn't able to find a way out. He's a jerk. That's a part of him that thinking about becoming a stripper. That would work. That's the only way, actually. Yasmin is absolutely loving her life as a demon girl, but a town full of girls just wasn't cutting it for her. Although she can't reach a sexual any of people of any gender, men are more fun, so she ended up moving out of town. Sleeping with dudes isn't the only thing Scarlett gets up to, though. In her spare time, she ended up inventing a new type of windmill that won several awards at a local artificial expo, and it drew the interest of several foreign investors. I don't think that worked. I think that's a total fail. She's currently working on scaling up her design from a prototype stage to a full-scale production. She's confined that it changed the way crops are grown throughout the country, but even if it doesn't, she may still make some money by selling the patent. Ava was focused on apologizing for everyone in town, and she was pretty miffed that her plan failed. A lot of people were angry at her, and people were really rude to her in social media websites. This doesn't really get her down too much though, because for some reason she managed to remain in her awesome dragon form, even after coming into contact with the reversal like everyone else. She found this strange, so she tracked down Silent Point's resident expert on all things strange and supernatural. That kinda went good. You're a demon. I'm a demon? You got claws for hands and half of your body is covered in scales. That double as armor. Well, that would actually explain some things. Aren't you just an animal, girl? And what animal are you supposed to be exactly? I guess some sort of lizard. Or a dragon. You're a demon, sweetie, just like me. That's kinda awesome. Can you run me throughout how you were transformed exactly? Didn't you come in contact with anything strange prior to starting the storm? Well, there was one thing. I was really freaky. Oh? Mog is currently... Wait, that's not Mog, that's Steph. There we go. Mog still runs his security business, but after him and all of his staff were transformed into women, he had to order a new set of uniforms, and they were surprisingly expensive and not as good as the old ones. City security played a heavy part in the cleaning up operation of the apocalypse and ended up being a really good networking experience for Mog. He was introduced to a lot of business owners throughout the town, and as a result of he's been able to double the size of his operation. His cat Jennifer is doing fine too. Oh, I get it. Oh, come on. Those two girls are weird. No one has seen Mercy and Ruth in Silent Point for a while, and that's probably for the best. They got their hands full dealing with problems on their own, and they saw what happened with the apocalypse. They have a massive freak out. I guess there are more than two of them. I think there are at least 10 copies of each of them. Because they are getting around way too quickly to just be two. It's best they don't know about the little incident. Yeah. Professor Stefan both and his brothers weren't even aware the apocalypse happened because it was the end of the current university trimester and they spent the entire week locked in their rooms grading papers. Quite a lot of students sent them emails asking for extension of their assignment on account of being transformed into an animal girl, but the lecturer didn't check their emails until after exam results were released. 95% of students failed that trimester and had to repeat their studies the following year. The university made a fortune. Of course it did. Wait, where did you see this? It was behind the fridge in a break room at the university. Seriously? You saw a portal? It was so damn freaky, but it just goes to show how there's something supernatural tied up with all of these transformations. I'm guessing that's where all the transformation fluid came from in the first place. That's why I realized that there was actually a purpose to this storm. It was just a random chaos. It's such a shame I couldn't get the storm to reach its full power. Back up. Go back to the part about the portal. Did someone say portal? Ava found one. You're kidding. This is funny. See, it's just here. Holy crap, you found it. Are we going in? Damn right we are. Ava, you coming too. You are a demon. You can make the trip. And is this a good idea? Trust me, you're going to want to go. She's right, let's move. Okay. Ava was going to get plenty of opportunities to test her new dragon abilities. Yeah, I guess that. Natalia brother Dominic. Wait, that's Natalia's brother? What the hell? Natalia's brother Dominic had already been transformed into a sheik a few years ago by Dina, but the gender swap storm ended up triggering his latent demonic abilities as he ended up transforming into a succubus like his sister. That's weird. Because his powers came from a demonic lineage, Dina and Jessica stopping the storm didn't cause him to return to normal. So, right now he's permanently stuck as a succubus. They have been treating her new sister as one of her apprentices. She'll get the hang of things in a few hundred years or so. Yeah. Come on, how much is it? Those are just tentacles. They don't get an FLG. And it's not one of the prepared to write about here. Let's move on. Yeah, probably best. I know what will happen. Sylvia was always proud of a genuine fur coat and didn't give a crap about any of her furry's murder movement because her jacket was comfy and kept her warm in the winter. However, she got the experience wearing fur firsthand when she had a real reaction to Bob Papalik's gas. How much time is this gonna take? Transforming her into a mink, a small rodent similar to a ferret that's famous for its fur. Rather than to risk being hunted down and made into a fancy hat, Sylvia ran to the hill to hide and spent the entire week living inside a tree trunk near some waterfalls. Although this saved her from being skinned and eaten, Sylvia was unfortunately out of the town when Dina lived. Undid the effects of the storm, and she wasn't transformed back into a human in time. Sylvia spent 4 years living as a mink in the wilderness, where she spent most of her days eating fish. She honestly didn't mind it that much once you got past the initial grossness of eating raw fish. Eventually, Sylvia came into contact with the chemical runoff from a nearby transformation, and she was finally reverted back into her human form. She was honestly a bit disappointed to not be an animal anymore. When Sylvia got home, she threw out all her fur coats, and to this day, she still enjoys eating the occasional rabbit. Sarah's business is still going strong, especially since she moved to a new location in the city. She's still continuing her tried and true method of wearing ridiculous outfits to bring in customers, and so far it's working. Living in the city is a bit tough, and there is a much higher crime rate to deal with, but there is a massive cosplay convention coming up, which Lexi is very excited about. Lexi moved to the city with Sarah, where she joined a large cosplay circle. Her sewing skill needed some work, but she got enthusiasm and everyone where they lost her. Alright, I can take out these headphones now. It's starting to kill my ears. She also been thinking about starting a family with Sarah, but that's still in the early stages. They don't have anything to announce just yet. Oh, come on. I started to get tired of all these characters that you don't even care about. Kid Hawk still goes to conventions and is actually met her and got a photo together with her one, so that was pretty cool. Nadine and Russell managed to avoid the storm, and after a 2-week vacation in Fiji, they came back to town full of women who had spent a week as animal girls. They were initially terrified that they lost their market on animal ears, but thanks to Jessica, Dina and Lynn efforts, all the girls in town were returned to regular human forms. Surprisingly, it turned out that the vast majority of these girls wanted the animal features back, and Nadine and Russell made an absolute killing, and with this money they were able to expand their empire. Adult Animal Ears now has 48 transformation clinics located in various cities across the country, and they show no signs of slowing down. It's only a matter of time until they take the operation global. Let me guess, everyone in the world gonna be girls with animal ears. I wouldn't be surprised if that actually happened. But we won't hear any more from Gender Bender because these 2 episodes that just were released, they are the last ones. Victoria Virtual Reality MMO had a programming error that resulted in several hundred players being stuck in the game for 3 months. She should have known that would happen. Thankfully, there weren't casualties, and it ended up being a massive publicity stunt for the game. Prior to the incident, the game was losing money left and right. The Century of Victoria had even considered making the game free to play. However, there was a massive surge in the number of players since that day, and Boxes has made absolute fortune. They are already starting to production on the game. It's a 4th expansion pack. Hopefully no one gets stuck in the game this time. Yeah, hopefully. Jessica is still angry that she's stuck as a woman for the rest of her life. Other people she knows seems to be adapting pretty well, and maybe she feels different in a few years, but as of this moment, she is mostly just pissed off. And even though she won't admit it, a part of her kind of misses having those floppy fox ears she had during the storm. And she really considered booking an appointment at the kimono clinic to get her tail back. Yeah, I can think it would be very fun to have a tail actually. No comments. She also thinking about moving to somewhere a bit more sensible. She had enough of Siren's Point and its silliness. And as Dina and Linda spent their afternoons drinking cocktails on the beach of their private island. That came in handy eventually, it seems. So I'm thinking we should open an amusement park. Wait, seriously? Wasn't that the whole point of this island, to get away from civilization? Yeah, but I'm so bored. I want to transform random people into stuff. And how would opening an amusement park help with that? Dina's crazy. Don't you think she will pop up right and left behind people with random syringes? I work into teaming. Build series of gates that transform people as they move between different areas of the park. We have mermaids in the pool area. We can turn people into nagas for the Arabian themed area. Insects people for the forest themed rides. Ew, don't turn people into insects. Fine, they can have woodland creatures then. Dina, you're insane. Insanely awesome. I do like the idea of a mermaid park though. See? This is why I'm in short of coming up with ideas. Ending 1 of 1. Was only 1 ending? Well, that's funny. Well, this clip ended up being way longer than I thought. I'm a little sad. This was actually one of the shorter parts, but I think actually that's why they made so much afterward. They did seriously tell about everything that happened afterward. But it's really a good game. And next up, you know what's gonna happen? I'm gonna me, Chemical Waste and Spartania gonna join me for a 3-part ending. 3-person ending, I mean. There's gonna be Ava. We're gonna see what crazy things going on in her head and how everything actually turned out with Ava. Actually, we should have done Jessica last, but I know Chemical Waste and Spartania wouldn't have managed to do anything with that. They would have failed miserably. But Ava is probably not as much reading. They will probably manage it because they are not as much for reading as I am. Seriously, I do novels, I do crazy things with all the reading. But at least hit like and subscribe. I'll see you next time. BroFive!